If you're fortunate enough to have a neck machine, you can also do four-way neck on a neck machine. We like to make sure that we always incorporate all four directions. Forward flexion, backwards extension, and again, we want to emphasize good full range of motion. We don't worry too much about the weight. We want to make sure that we use as much weight as we can while maintaining good technique and a full range of motion. So it's forward flexion, it's backwards extension, now it's lateral flexion each way. Left and then right. Thanks, James. Flex. The final portion of our weight room section will address flexibility. The best time to work on your flexibility, your static flexibility, is post-workout where your muscles are warm. This is going to help your recovery process, and it's the best time to increase your range of motion after a workout because your core temperature's up and your heart rate's up, your muscles are lubricated, and you're ready to advance and improve that flexibility at the end of the workout. Mike's going to demonstrate. This is a band stretch that we utilize. You could use a rope if you don't have a band. These bands, you see them, this is a jump stretch band. You can also buy them in the Perform Better catalogs. We start by hamstring. It's important that he keeps his opposite toe straight up. We're just going to hold that position. We're going to do a static stretch, Mike. We're going to hold that position for 8 seconds. From there, go hamstring lateral. We'll go hamstring over the top. So we went straight on, we went lateral, now he's pulling to the opposite shoulder. The next movement will be crossover low back. It's important you want to keep that front leg straight, keep the shoulders flat. The next one is pretzel. Notice he has his right leg out in front, his left foot's on his right knee. Here he's pulling that right foot towards his face and his shin is parallel to the ground. Next we'll roll over and do the hip flexor. You can do the hip flexor laying on your stomach, like Mike's demonstrating here. We'll hold each one for 8 to 10 seconds, or you can do the hip flexor on the side, where he wants to really pull that knee back. Now, there's two different ways to execute these stretches. One is what we call band static, where we hold each one of those positions we just demonstrated for 8 to 10 seconds. The other one is what we call active iso. And a demonstration of active iso, Mike will just demonstrate here with his hamstring straight up on top. Active iso, Mike will pull it up, he'll hold it for 1001, and then he'll relax. Pull it up, 1001, and relax. And you want to try to improve your range each time. When we do active iso, we'll execute 5 individual holds for 1 second before we progress to the next exercise. You want to do in-place dynamic? Brian will sit down here and he'll demonstrate what we call in-place dynamic. This is an in-place dynamic stretch. No equipment needed whatsoever. Here he's just doing alternate hamstring. He'll do 5 each side. He'll hold each one for 1,001. Again, it's 5 each side. Next, he'll do a rotational low back. Here, he'll keep his shoulders flat, his knees together, and his feet in contact with the ground. And he'll bring his knees to the floor each time. Just developing some hip rotation here. This next drill we call a scorpion. He's going foot to opposite hand. It's important that he keeps his hands wide to the side. You don't want to let your hands work down towards your hips. It's an excellent drill to stretch the hip flexor. Next we call this a push-up hip flexor. It's important the athlete keeps his waist on the floor and wants to extend up on his hands, raising his chest, and you'll feel that stretch along each side of your hip flexors. This next one is we call a seated pretzel. Brian's taking his head and trying to get his head to his heel. Notice how he got in that position. He took his right foot and put it over his left knee. After we complete 5 of these on the right, we'll switch it over. Left foot over right knee, and you'll go head to heel, and it'll go 5 seated pretzel on the other side. This last one is called the downward dog. Notice Brian's heels are flat the entire time. He's grabbing his toes. He's go down into a squat position. He's extending up, driving his knee back, flexing his quads, stretching his hamstrings in the top position. That completes our flexibility portion. In closing, we want to thank you for taking the time to learn our basic developmental program. If you have any questions, you can call us at any time at 1-800-UI-HAWKS, and we'd be happy to address any of your questions. Thanks.